Jesus, son of Mary, alayhi salam, his message has virtually zero significance in Arabia because he wasn't sent to the Arabs. He's sent to the Jews, Banu Israel. So even if the message of Jesus reaches Arabia, the Arabians are not held accountable by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that message. Period. Because he wasn't sent to them. And their message ultimately is not for them. And note, without going into theological, when a message is not meant for you, it's not meant for you. You can't embrace it. And if you do embrace it, you would have to change it. Like Europe did with Christianity. Europeans had to change Christianity. Why? To make the message suit them. But the change of the message is kufr, absolute kufr. That's the any inception of Christianity, and people understood that. And if you look at Christianity as an example, when the individual, his name's Paul, we know it's Paul, Christianity is a Pauline manifestation. When Paul, who's an enemy of Christ, has the amazing conversion to what? On the road to Damascus, it's called the conversion of Paul on the road to Damascus. Then he meets another great disciple of Jesus, not mentioned from the 12, whose name is Barnabas. And then Barnabas himself says, I'm going to take you now to the place of the disciples, if they will accept your conversion. So they go to the place of the disciples. The disciples have now fled to Alexandria, northern Egypt, Alexandria. It's called the place of the first Christian church. That's the first place after what? After the Holy Land, that the disciples established their church, their place of worship. When they bring Paul to what? To the disciples, James, who's the head of the disciples reject them. Absolutely reject them. Barnabas pleads. It's a conversion. Jesus was sent. We're sent to convert Banu Israel. Barnabas pleads the case of Paul. Disciples accept he can remain with us. Then Paul begins to espouse his theories of religion. That's the problem. His theories of religion. His theories of religion is that the message of Jesus goes beyond Banu Israel. We've got to take this to everybody, in particular those who've oppressed us and forced you into hiding in Alexandria. So who is that? The Romans. Europeans, the Romans. And so what Paul says, but the only way the Romans will accept it is if we modify Jesus' teachings for the Romans, the Europeans. The Bible, the disciples kick him out. They tell Barnabas he's a heretic. We told you in the first place. They kicked him out. Kicked out Paul out of Alexandria. What does Paul do? Paul says, I'm going. Watch. I'll convert the Europeans. I'll convert the Romans. So Paul takes a boat over to what? To him, from Alexandria over to Greece, then on to Rome. Okay? Who follows him? Barnabas. Barnabas wants to make him see sense. Barnabas takes the boat across the actual water, the Mediterranean, over to Greece. In the tradition, when Barnabas reaches the shores of Greece, he takes the next boat back to Alexandria. He's convinced he's a heretic. This man is a heretic. Paul enters into Rome. The rest is history. It's history. And 2/3 of what we call Christianity is the original teachings of Paul. And then what does he meet? All of this 25th of December, that was pagan Roman religion. Jesus' death and resurrection, all of that is ancient Europe. It's called Mithraism. The Vatican is the center of the Mithraic Church. It's all pre-Christianity. And Paul is the one who now imports all of that into what we now know as Christianity. That is independent historical fact. But the point we're trying to stress here, not that you're sympathetic with Paul because he's changing the words of the prophets, but you have to understand why that phenomenon occurs. Why would you change? Why did the word of Jesus have to be changed for what the people of Europe? Because it wasn't meant for them. It wasn't meant for the Gentile. It was just meant for the Jew. Okay? Everyone got it? That's the importance here.